Hey everybody, it's Brendan Burchard, author of the #1 New York Times bestselling book, The Millionaire Messenger, and founder of Experts Academy. And in this video, I want to share with you my famous homepage ATM strategy for getting you more emails, for getting you more revenue, for helping you build your brand online as an author, a speaker, a coach, seminar leader, online thought leader, social media maven, whatever it is that you want to do to share your knowledge, your content, your wisdom online. I want to help you do that by helping you understand some basic fundamentals you need to have on your homepage and in your sales processes online. If you ever had questions about online marketing, this will explain a lot of it. If you've ever wondered where your next email subscriber or your next dollar is coming from, this will explain it. This is all in the context of what we've been talking about here in the Experts Academy video series. It's very straightforward. You can make a tremendous difference sharing your advice, your knowledge, your content and wisdom online, and you can get paid for it. I'm living proof of that. So are our tens of thousands of Experts Academy graduates from around the world who are out there writing and selling books, who are out there on stages at conferences and seminars, who are out there doing their own live events, who are doing life coaching, group coaching, business coaching, high performance coaching. All those folks out there crushing it online using the Experts Academy launch sequence, and all those folks who we've been blessed to work with, from some of the world's top YouTubers, from the world's most followed people on Facebook, from just everybody you probably know, like, and follow online that you see really doing a great job at it and having a career. It's likely they're Experts Academy graduates. We've been blessed to be teaching this since 2007 with tens of thousands of graduates and over 1 million people having viewed our video series. We were very blessed to bring a lot of the concepts that were out there in lots of different spaces, from writers' conferences to seminars to other online training, all into one place to say, how would you make money and make a difference sharing your own voice with the world? You've been through a lot in your life, and I always tell people, if you've been through any struggles and you came out on the other side still alive or succeeding, then part, I think, of all of our purpose is to look back to those people who were still coming up. Look back to the world of those who maybe aren't as far as we are on the path. Or look out to the world for those raising their hands in need and saying, could you teach me how to do this? Could you explain how that works? Whether that's you teaching concepts as broad as personal development or professional development, leadership, business, parenting, relationships, real estate, making money, whatever it is. If you have a passionate topic that you care about and you like to teach it, how do you make money doing that? How do you have a career doing it? How do you do it well? That's the topic of Experts Academy, which is now the world's #1 thought leader training. So I'm really blessed to be at the foundation of what we do at Experts Academy. And what I want to do today is teach you the homepage ATM, kind of bust a few myths you might have about the expert space in general, including whether or not you feel ready to do this work, and ultimately incentivize you to get in the game, to try something. Some of those folks who are watching this right now, you might just win a $2,000 ticket to Experts Academy. So stay tuned. We have a lot to teach today. Today, I'm going to focus on a specific case study, a specific tool and strategy we've been teaching since, I think, 2006 or 7 in the online marketing space, called the homepage ATM. It's basically the concept of how do you turn your homepage, your website, into an ATM, something that prints money. Okay, I know that sounds very online marketing-y if you know my business. If you don't know my story, I started doing this 10 years ago professionally. I've been blessed to studying personal development, psychology, neuroscience, and high performance studies now for 20 years of my life, because 20 years ago I had a car accident, and it inspired me to want to live a better quality of life. It taught me at the end of our lives, we all wonder if we've lived and if we've loved and if we've mattered. And I didn't like the answers to those questions the first time I faced them when I had my sort of knock at death's doorway. When I had my car accident, I was not a happy man. I wasn't happy with my life. I wasn't happy with where my life was going. I didn't like myself. I had a broken heart from a relationship that fell apart. And I'm sure you've been in the moments of transition in your life too, where you wanted to change and you wanted something new. I was at wit's end. I was suicidal. And if I hadn't had that car accident to kind of rattle me and to help me appreciate life, I wouldn't be here today. And as I've gone through my own journeys, and as after I finished that, it's probably a year or two of major transition out of my car accident, I found myself, I knew what I wanted with my life, and I started doing basically teaching and consulting work, and I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. But at some point, I wanted to do this full time. And so I had to learn how to do all the things we're talking about. I was never the get rich quick money guy. I always just wanted to make a difference, but I wanted to be able to be creative and share information and knowledge and inspiration with the world. But yeah, I wanted to get paid for it too, because I had bills to pay. I had family, I wanted to get ahead. And I know you do too. So let me share with you where you would start with what we call the HomePage ATM. The HomePage ATM basically says this: put up a web page. Okay, let's just start there. If you don't have a website, let's get you one. Okay, go onto WordPress today or onto Squarespace today and just sign up. You can start both of them for free, and you can build a web page today, literally in minutes or hours that used to take years. You can sign up for services like a Kajabi, like we use, or other programs, Squarespace, Tumblr, WordPress. Some are free, some are not, but building a web page today does not cost tens of thousands of dollars. Usually it's like a couple $100 tops. You can sign up for Kajabi for $99 a month, I think it is, and you're going. But the basics of your homepage, once you say, okay, I want to share my brand with the world, my name or my wisdom or content, you're going to need a web page. And on that web page, you're going to keep a couple fundamental elements. You'll have a banner image or banner video at the top. You have an opt-in bar. Opt-in bar. If you don't know what that means that's where you're going to ask people for their name and email by giving them something free. So if you've ever seen my website, and we'll profile that later in this video, you'll see that I just ask people to give me their name and email, and I'll teach them some productivity tips. So they give me their name and email, and then they go through the sequence, which I'll talk you about and talk you through, which I'm sure you've been through as well. Now I'll just demystify it for you and make it easy for you. Then you're going to have your bio at some point where you want people to learn about you. And then you're going to list your programs, anything you have that you deliver value through, whether it's a brand or a product or a service. You have a little information about that. They can click on that, and then I'll tell you what to do from there. Okay? So that's the basics of your homepage. Very, very simple. Let's talk about this opt-in bar and what happens here. Now, a lot of people didn't realize, this has been going on for a really long time. Now it's very popular, but still, I know a lot of people collecting names and emails, and they're broke because they don't know what to do, and they don't ever build a real brand because they don't know what to do. So let me share with you a simple thing you can do. On your homepage, what you're going to do, you ask for their name and email. Again, I just tell them I'm going to give them some productivity tips. They enter their name and email. They're immediately taken to the delivery of that. So I say, enter your name and email, and I'll give you my 5x50 productivity formula. So they enter their name and email, and boom, I deliver that formula in video format. Like right away, they enter their name and email, they literally go to this page where I just teach them. And this training is really important. This is your first impression. People think this is the first impression. Not really. What usually this is just, everyone's got a website today. Everyone's got a facade. Everyone's got an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, or whatever. We're used to looking at things, but it's until we consume do we really have an impression of the person. And so here, you're going to train. I train here from anywhere from 20 minutes to some of my brands teach 45 minutes. But 20 to 45 minutes, I just teach. There's nothing for sale here. There's just your traditional Facebook share buttons, as an example, or your like buttons, and comments so people can talk about it. Nothing for sale. Just teach. That's it. That's how you build rapport. That's how you add value. That's how you do your mission in the world. If you're subscribed to what we call the expert mission, which is to inspire and instruct other people to achieve their dreams or improve their life, well, that's what we're doing here. You're just doing this. You're cultivating comments and community, talking with people. That's great. Then, usually, anywhere between 2 and 4 days later, you send out another video. You email, because remember you got their email. So 2 to 4 days later, you send out another video. We call this value video, right? This would be your opt-in. This was value video number 1. This is value video number 2. And so they get this 2 to 4 days later. They just watch the video again. Nothing for sale. Just you teaching even more. and just blowing people's minds. They're like, wow, I can't believe this. They got this right away. 2 to 4 days later, they get this. So, in 5 to 6 days, they've got all this training for you for free. They're commenting, they're engaging. They're like, this person's awesome, right? Then what do? You come over, you do it again. Value video number 3. This is again 2 to 4 days later. You just train, deliver, talk. And a lot of people say at this point, but Brendan, isn't this a huge lost opportunity? Couldn't I have just get their name and email and right here sold them something? I'm like, of course you could have. And you totally can. Maybe you just teach here for 20 minutes and then you sell something at the end of it, right? You totally can do that. Or maybe you wait to here, teach a little bit, sell something there. Or you get here, teach a little bit, sell something here. Or you can do teach, sell something, teach, sell something different, teach, sell something different. That's fine. But I go, hey, have you ever gone on a first date with somebody and all they did is want to take from you? It's like, ooh, get me out of here. I think if you're going to be here for a long time, and I've been blessed to do this now professionally, and to give you an idea, at the multi-million-dollar level every single year for a decade. I've been blessed to have over 2 million email subscribers. I got a good kind of knowledge about this. And I can share with you with now 4 million plus people on Facebook and having generated tens of millions of dollars consistently year over year, what I can tell you is it's worth adding value without selling right away. I know a lot of people don't like when I say that because they're like, Brendan, a lot of online marketing, like old school guys, like, you make money here, make money, make money. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just build relationship with people. Let's just get, in the flow of really adding value. And these aren't hypey, hooky videos. You're teaching in these videos, teaching something good. If you're teaching parenting, maybe this is like, 5 habits of very successful parents. Maybe this one's how to deal with a troubled child. This one's how to have that tough conversation. I don't know where the topics are, but you should brainstorm it as we're going through this video. It will serve you. Then what you can do, you can wait. And then after this third video, that, 2 to 4 days later, you had this one. This one, 1 to 3 days later, now you give them a sales video. Now you send a video, say, hey guys, I hope you've been enjoying the free video series I've been sending you. I've got this course or this book or this program or this coaching service or this webinar series for sale. Whatever it is that you're going to sell, you do it here. You do it here, and what you're selling here is your product or program. And I'll tell you, it's unbelievable how many people don't buy it. Don't buy it. You think, I added all this value and nobody bought it the first time. Well, no one buys anything the first time. And a lot of people quit marketing online because they put up a sales video once, they tried to sell something nobody bought and they got discouraged without realizing most people don't buy the first time. Matter of fact, in general, usually between 1 and 5% of people, that's all, 1 in 5% of people who view that sales video will buy it on that first view. And that's why it's good that you got their name and email, because you send them this once and then you sort it. Who didn't click on the link? Send it to them again. Then you send out another email that says, hey, I noticed you haven't enrolled in this program. Want to make sure you had all the details. And in the email, you tell them everything you have for sale. Drive them back here again. Then you send them another email a couple days later saying, hey, I noticed you haven't enrolled. Could you reply back to this email, tell me any questions you have? And then they reply, you give them the FAQs, give them the link again. So your job is, and then what are you going to do? Then set up a deadline and say, hey, I noticed you haven't signed up. Want to let you know, tomorrow night at midnight, last chance to sign up. I won't tell you about it again. Please click this link. And yes, you can set those links to have automated timers on them, depending on what systems or tools that you're using for all this. So they're going to see this a couple times, okay? Now, another way to make this go even further, if they buy that, then you offer what's called an upsell. An upsell. An upsell where you just offer something in addition to that. So if they buy something, let's say at, $29, let's say you're selling this for, let's go higher, mid-tier. You're going to sell something for $297 here. Then as soon as they buy that, the next page, they could see an offer, and that offer could say, hey, I know you just got this. This one thing, if you had it, it would help you do better at it. So I'm offering it at a discount just today, this one time only, if you buy it, and it's just $49. So that's $297, that's $49. Just as an example, you choose whatever prices you want. I'm just illustrating the process for you here. And then, okay, great, you're doing a good job. Now, what if they don't buy? Well, if they haven't bought here yet, then you can offer a downsell. And when I call this a downsell here, I might use it different than other folks, but basically, if this was $297, you email them a couple days later, say, hey, I know you didn't get that program, but I really want to make sure we get you some continuing education or some support. So I've got this other product or program or service, and it might be right for you. And you send them to this one, and this one's less expensive than that. So for those who couldn't afford it or chose not to, this is a different program at a lower price point. Then people say, well, what happens after that if they don't? Well, then this is where you drop them into another sequence, or, and I'm going to draw out two different things here. You drop them into another sequence. When I say another sequence, what I mean is another value, value, value sale. I'm just going to say V3S, right? So they went through this. If they didn't buy, great. Let's say maybe they didn't want to buy parenting, but you also teach a program on health. You can send them 3 value videos on health, then sell them a health program. Make sense? If they don't buy after going through your value sequences, and you might have a few of them, I've got 13 of these set up. That's why we earn over $10 million a year doing these types of things, because I spent my time in these last few years building these. I usually build 1, 2, or 3 of these every single year, and it just keeps running. So people go through all this, then they go through another one, then they go through another one, then they go through another one, then they go through another one times 13. Well, at some point, if they've gone through all that, because that's all set up to happen automatically via autoresponders, your system, right? Whatever system collected this name and email, it sends them all through this. Popular ones in our industry are Infusionsoft, are Entreport, are Kajabi, are, you could even use as simple as MailChimp could do all of this. They go through all that, and then at some point, they're dropped into your general newsletter. That means that's the one you just send out every single week. Yes, every single week. You should be sending out an email that adds value to people, and you do that live broadcast. What does that mean? I don't mean like you're live on camera. I mean you're doing it in the moment in real time. It's not set up automatically, right? All of this, once they enter their name and email, this just happens. And once they go through all of your ones that you have set up on autoresponder, then you drop them in your general newsletter. And of course, your general newsletter you have to send out every week. You're not sending the general newsletter out to anyone who is in this flow. It's only after they've completed this flow. We call it the homepage ATM because guess what? All day long, when you're driving people to this page through social media, through your posts, through your ads, through your partners, people are entering their name and email, and they're going through here. Now people say, well, Brendan, I don't drive people to my homepage, I drive them to my blog. I'm like, great. Well, then on your blog, then make sure you have this opt-in bar, or maybe you have an opt-in ad running on the side. Same thing though. When they come to any of your pages, your job, in terms of marketer today online, get the name and email, deliver this value, and that's what prints out the money. That's why we call it the homepage ATM. Because once it's up and running, it's just spitting out money, and it's doing it all the time, and it's just crushing it. That is the basics of all online marketing. At Experts Academy, we literally tell you what to say in each of these videos. And as part of this process, we literally give you the tools, the systems, and that's just one module of what Experts Academy is. For those who are watching this, at some point, if I do have your name and email, I'll open up class to Experts Academy whenever we open another class. So you'll get an invitation whenever that opens up available. But that's basics of the homepage ATM. I know you can do this because I've done it. Now, there's some myths that we need to address about why you might not want to do it. And I think if we explain those myths, you'll get in the game better. And I also want to incentivize those of you who know you should start something like this, but you haven't yet. So first, let's cover the major myths of the expert industry. The first one is that the technology is too hard. I hear this all the time. You have to understand, I've done worldwide tours for Experts Academy. We've graduated 1 million people from our online video series, the free ones, and tens of thousands of our students around the world are crushing it every single day. Everybody at first says, sounds hard. I'm like, what sounds hard about it? And then, well, you know, 10 years ago, I tried to build a website and it cost $20,000. I'm like, 10 years ago? Yeah. Today, the systems and the tools are there to make it easier and cheaper. You've got WordPress sites that don't cost anything, and if you want to dress it up and make it prettier and fancier, you pay for a theme that might cost $80, $29, $100. You've got tools like Squarespace or Kajabi that set these things up literally in minutes once you learn the system. To give you an idea, this page that you're watching this video on, I created this page in 67 seconds. Literally, 67 seconds, this page. To build the opt-in page that probably got you here, plus this, and integrate it with my email provider, that took 60 minutes total. And yes, I did it. I'm blessed to have, I suppose, gotten so many followers and fans in the thought leader space because they know I actually do the work. And I'm not some whiz-bang kid in technology. I had to learn all of this. I'm from Montana. Like, a horse is a complicated mechanism for me, you know, let alone like websites and Infusionsofts or Kajabis. It's like, what? But I took the time to do it. And that's why we're here. And that's why I'm so blessed to not only have worked with and advised so many of the world's most influential people, but literally help them build book campaigns, build speaking campaigns, build online campaigns and promotions. Many of them have generated multiple millions of dollars. And in my own business, as many of you have already heard, that we have done 19 seven-figure launches in 7 days. I mean, 19 promotions that generate over $1 million each in 7 days each. And the only way that could happen is if I personally learned some of those systems. Now, those systems used to be complicated. If you think technology is hard, I just have to say this. You haven't looked at it in the last 2 years. That's all. You don't understand that all technology has become pretty easy, a lot like Facebook. It's just like, fill it in. Most online marketing is tool-driven, where literally you open up the page and it says, what's the headline you want? You type in the headline. It says, upload your video here, or post the, post the link to your video wherever it's stored, Vimeo or YouTube here. Do you want comments? Yes. Okay, what's your Facebook account? Put it there so it builds the comment builder. You're good to go. Publish. Bang. You have a page. I know you know this if you've been doing blogging or anything else. Building a blog, easy. Building web pages, easy. Does it take time? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Depends on how much money you want to make. Is it worth it? Depends on what your mission is. The measurement of worth is based on your priorities, not mine. But I want to let you know, if you think the tech is too hard, you're crazy. So let me incentivize you for this. If you haven't heard about the Experts Academy Challenge, it's going on again right now if you're watching this video. If it expired, it will say it beneath this video. But here's the deal. All I want you to do is this. Shoot a video of yourself teaching any topic you want. I want you to teach 5 ways to succeed in that topic. So if you teach parenting, shoot a video of yourself teaching, here's 5 ways to be a better parent. If you teach real estate success or investment, teach, here's 5 ways to succeed in real estate. If you teach marketing, here's 5 ways to succeed in social media. If you teach, I don't care what the topic is, just say, here's 5 ways to succeed in this topic. It could be any topic. It could literally be, here's 5 ways to succeed sewing a quilt. Go for it. I don't care. Shoot the video of yourself teaching that. You look in the camera saying, hey, guys, I'm taking the Experts Academy Challenge. Here's how I do this. Just teach them 5 tips or strategies to succeed. Shoot that video, post it on YouTube, come back to this page, post down below the link to your video. And here's what I'll do, just to incentivize and celebrate those who know that the technology is not too hard. We'll go through all the videos, and I'll pick the 5 favorite ones. And our 5 favorite ones, I'll go ahead and give you a scholarship to Experts Academy. That's a $2,000 online course. I'm going to give you access to that online course for free when you submit those videos if you're in the top 5. Now, for everybody who submits, I'm going to give you our $1 Million Expert Roadmap. It is a downloadable PDF that just basically gives you the overview of the industry, how it works, what tools we love and use. It's super awesome. I'll give that to everybody who goes ahead and submits a video, just to say thank you. It's not too hard. You can use it with your iPhone. You can have your kids shoot it. You can use any camera you want. I don't care. Just get it up, get it done. Prove to yourself you can teach. Get in the game. Next, number 2. People say, I'm not ready. The myth is that you need more credibility, you need more years of experience, you need a certification, you need to go back to college, you need to do all these things. And I go, no, look. There's 3 ways to be an expert. The first way is you're a results expert. You've been there, you've done that, you've achieved it. The second way is that you're a research expert. You just go out and do some research on it, report it. And the third way is you're a role model. People just follow you because they like you, they trust you, you built brand relationship with them, and they'll listen to you on any topic. Well, I say just do all 3. You know, whatever your topic is, if you're teaching how to be a great parent, well, then I hope you're a good parent. You got the results. But sometimes you were a bad parent, but you learned some things a lot, like the hard knocks, lessons of hard knocks. You know, the hard knock lessons they don't teach at Harvard or in, some school for parenting. And now you just research, you combine, and you just report. Here's what I learned. Here's what today's leading experts are saying, and you teach from that. I don't think you need to spend another year to get certified or trained or lots of other things in dozens of areas. You don't have to go back to college. At some point, what you really need to do is become a more contemplative person about your journey so far. What did you struggle through and learn about being a good person? See, when I began teaching personal development, I didn't have a PhD in personal development. I just had changed my life, and I was happy. And I was motivated, and I was driven, and I was clear, and I was excited. And people are like, man, I wish I had some more of that motivation and gusto and motivation and charge you got. How do you do it? I'm like, oh, well, I have these daily routines. Oh, I have this way of thinking about the world. Oh, here's what I've learned from other people that I've applied and what I've learned from that process. I just shared my journey with other people, and that started building the business. If I had fooled myself, well, I better go get a PhD in psychology, I've been in trouble. But I was lucky. I got to see a guy at the time called Tony Robbins when I began. And I remember Tony Robbins saying, no, I don't have a PhD from any academic resource. I have a PhD in results. And I was like, you go, man. He got it done. He was a results expert. So listen, people will listen to your journey. You're ready. And that is what you ultimately must convince yourself. You can do the tech. You are ready. And number 3, you might say, well, I'm not known, though, Brennan. Nobody knows who I am. So, sure, Brennan, you can do this because you're famous. And I go, my gosh, did you hear that? That was a good slap, Travis. I heard slap myself. Okay, not known, here's the truth. No one knows you until you start doing the very things I'm telling you about. See, you're not going to wake up one day, oh, thank God, I'm famous. It's not going to happen. The way you become a well-known expert, thought leader, social media influencer, is you start posting. That's it. You start doing the work. That's it. It's just like any other art, any creative aspect, any other sport, any other talent in the world. No one just wakes up naturally good at it. What they do is they put the hours in. They do it and they do it. They're consistent and consistent. Because their consistency, they develop more competency. Because of their competency, they develop more confidence. Because they have more confidence, they develop more consistency. Because they have more consistency, they develop more competence. And it rises. The way that you're going to do this, just get in the game. You want to become known for what your topic is? Start releasing content. I've been blessed to have many of the largest YouTubers and social media people in the world graduate Experts Academy. And I love when I meet these folks who are just so well known and famous today. And I say, hey, when did you start this? And you know what? They're always a story where they say, gosh, I started 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And I said, well, what made the difference? Why are you still here? And they said, well, you know what? I did it every week. They did a video every week or a video every day, or they did a blog post, or they wrote an article, or they kept writing at their books, but they were consistent for years. And that consistency led them there. People look at me all the time and go, Brennan, you came out of nowhere. I'm like, man, but I've been trying to learn how to speak for 20 years. I was trying to learn how to teach for a year. I was just going. I mean, if you saw my first video, it was awful. Well, maybe you think this video is awful too, but I mean, my first video was awful. It was like my shirt was down here, my hair was over there. I was like, hey, how you doing? I couldn't even introduce myself. It was like, hi, I'm Brendan Richard. It was awful. Yours will be awful. Good for you. Get in the game. Put your awful video up down below and tell you what, I'll give you $1 million guide about how we do everything. How's that for being incentivized? Like, get in the game. If you're waiting for some permission from the universe or your neighbor or your kids or you know, just random luck, sure. What? You have permission. You have now been granted. You are now ready. Next, last idea is this. I don't have any time, Brendan. I got no time. You don't understand, I'm busy. I got the kids. I got the business. I got the in-laws, I got the neighbors, I got obligations, Brendan, to my community, my church, and you don't understand, Brendan, I'm so busy. And I go, okay, I won't doubt if you're busy, but my question is, do you understand the difference between busy work and your life's work? Do you understand the difference between hoping to do this one day or commanding yourself to do it? Do you understand the difference between a desire to want something and a discipline to go get it? Because we all have the same amount of time. Look, it is the ego's game, and it is the ego's win when we start saying to the world, well, they don't understand me. Well, Brendan, you don't understand how busy I am. Well, you don't understand my kids. Well, you don't understand my business. You don't understand my wife. You don't understand my community. And I go, really? You don't think I understand that? I've dealt with millions of students. You think you're the first? I've had the difficult position, I have to share with you, the difficult position of having served in hospices and been with people in very difficult environments all around the world. And I can share with you, I've seen a lot. But even if I haven't seen it, look, 7 billion people walking this planet today, a collective history of thousands of years of recorded history. You're not the first to go through whatever you're going through. I know that sounds hard for a young guy like me to tell you, but after this much experience, I just learn it over and over. We're all one. There's only 2 stories in the human narrative. One is struggle, and the other is progress. Don't think just because you're in one bucket or the other that everyone else doesn't understand your story. Everybody does. Yes, you're a unique person. And yes, maybe it feels unique to you, but I've had to tell people who had cancer, I said, I love you and I respect you, but the way that you're dealing with cancer, you're acting like no one else has ever dealt with it. Lots of people deal with cancer. I'm not saying it's easy. And I'm not making anything Pollyannish. I'm not here to tell you that everything's flowers and perfect and starry light. But I'm here to tell you that there's nothing that we're ever going to go through as people that someone else hasn't gone through. And it's our job to let go of the ego that says, no one can understand me. Because seriously, no one can understand me. We're less likely to ask for help. If you believe that nobody gets you, then you never ask for help. And that's unfortunate. Why do I bring that up when talking about time? Because people say, well, you don't understand how busy I am, Brendan. I go, yeah, I guarantee, no matter who you are, you can find another 20 minutes a day. The average American, as an example, is watching over 4 hours of television a day. Average, watching about 4 hours of television a day. Not the TV's on 4 hours, they're watching 4 hours. Don't tell me that the average person can't get 20 more minutes or an hour more to be creative. The average person is getting lost in watching, Twitter and Facebook and social media and, all these videos that don't add value or instruction to their life. And they say, well, I don't have any time. I go, you know what? If you got time to scroll on your computer, on your smartphone, you got time. You're just not allocating it well enough for your real ambitions. You're distracted, busy. You're not disciplined and purposeful. And I say that with respect because if this is your mission, to inspire and instruct other people to improve their lives, to achieve their dreams, if you want to serve at that high level in the thought leader space, you will find the time. Believe me, it's not easy for me to write the books. It's not easy for me to create courses. I've been told I've written and I've created more online courses, more hours of video in terms of training, curriculum than anyone else in our industry ever. If that is true, if Success Magazine, as they rated me the highest paid marketing trainer in the world, if that's true, if Oprah.com's naming me one of the most successful online trainers in history, if that is true, then I can tell you those truths, those results, those outcomes came from me finding the time to do it every day, even as I built an 8-figure business. Even as I dealt with family and loss, even as people who I cared for, like my dad, who did die of cancer, even after I've struggled for so many years, those first years trying to figure out all this out, I didn't quit. And we had this conversation today because I didn't make time an excuse. I realized when I was making excuses. I realized when I was distracted. And I said, you know what? I got a bigger purpose and game to play that. I'm tired of the busy work. I'm doing my life's work, and I got at it. And I hope this video in some way inspires you to do that too. If it does, do me a favor. Go out, shoot that video of yourself, teach 5 ways to succeed on any topic, post that video down below so the community can see you doing that. We're going to start promoting this video quite a bit, so I'm sure a lot of people will see your post. And what I'll do is the top 5 of those will give a $2,000 scholarship to Online Experts Academy, and everybody who submits a video, I will go ahead and give you our $1 Million Expert Journey Roadmap, and I think you will really love that. Also, last thing, even if you don't want to do that, just tell me below this video, what did you think of the video? What did you learn? What did you like? What notes did you take? Tell me anything. Ask me any question down below. Engage with it. Share this video. If you know somebody who needed to see this or needed to hear it, please share it with them. I'd love to serve them as well. This is what I do. This is what I love. If I can help you as part of that journey, enroll in Experts Academy someday when we open it, or come to the live event, Experts Academy, someday when we open that as well. I'd love to see you there, and I'd love to serve you. I'd love to be part of your expert journey. Until then, go out there every single day of your life. Live fully, love openly, and go make a difference today.